Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is AshQuest, and today I'm very excited to share with you that I just found out about the crowdfund campaign for the Fire and Ice Miniatures Adventure board game, launched by Dynamite Entertainment through Kickstarter. If you want to back this project, I'll put a link in the description below and you can learn all about it. But the important thing to note is that there is a Kickstarter exclusive, free for all backers for the first few days of the campaign, that includes the Subhuman Priestess. And we are on day 4 right now as of the recording of this video, and I'm going to publish it today, so we'll still be on day 4. You've got basically till tomorrow to pledge and get this exclusive miniature for free, but don't rush in just yet. If you really want this miniature, but you don't have the funds to back the project, she will be available as an add-on after day 5. She just won't be free. That's all there is to that. This has already gotten past its $50,000 goal, so it's going to happen. And as of course we all know, Kickstarters, crowdfund campaigns, they come with a level of risk, but this is from Dynamite Entertainment. They publish The Boys, they publish Red Sonja, they publish Vampirella, Elvira, Nancy Drew, they've got hands on Game of Thrones. I think that this is a pretty safe campaign. I'm not being sponsored or paid by anybody to say that. That's just my own personal opinion, so please take that with the amount of salt that you like. We have 775 backers on this, 29 days to go, just in case you need that extra time. But let's take a look at the tiers and then what the game actually comes with. Before we get into that, Fire and Ice, if you don't know anything about it or what it is, it's a 1983 animated fantasy masterpiece of a movie. If you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to go scour the streaming services, find it, rent it, buy it if you have to, but do watch it. It uses amazing animation techniques like the rotoscoping, I believe, from that period that we just don't see in animation today. And they're really, really nice. The animation is so good. The story is awesome. The fantasy setting is amazing. It's inspirational. It's seminal. You got to go check it out. And now a summary straight from Dynamite. Fire and Ice Miniatures Adventure Game is a tactical skirmish game for 2 or more players. In this competitive war game, the heroes of Firekeep battle the diabolical forces of Ice Peak for dominion over the realms of men and beast, bringing Frank Frazetta's unfettered primal imagination to life by allowing players to become part of the ferocity, action, and romance that was infused into every canvas he touched, and that he and Ralph Bakshi brought to Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice, the Miniatures Adventures game, recreates the combat and maneuvering found in the animated masterpiece, but puts the magic, steel, and the cunning in your hands. But the action doesn't stop there. Fire and Ice also includes rules-light mechanics for continuing the adventure through narrative-driven roleplay. So you're actually getting kind of a 2-in-1 deal here. You're getting the Miniatures Adventure game, and then you're getting a rules-light roleplay game. Diving right into the pledge tiers, there is, of course, the support tier, the $1. Just pledge it for no reward because you want to. For $20 USD, you get the limited edition Fire and Ice #1 comic. This comes with a digital download of the same comic. For $25, you can get a set of trading cards. For $75, you will get the Fire and Ice core game. This is the one that currently, right now, comes with the Subhuman Priestess for free. Now, this doesn't come with the cards or the limited edition comic book, and that's actually true of a lot of the tiers here, but when you go through with checking out, or pledging at least, you will be able to add on elements from the other tiers. So you don't have to get any one particular thing. You can get a set of any amount of these. Each one has a dollar value assigned to it. You can just pick and choose what you would like to have at the end of your pledge. For $80 USD, you get signed Fire and Ice trading cards. There's a set of 9. At the $90 tier, you get the Fire and Ice lithograph. It's an 11x17 deluxe lithograph. At the $100 tier, you'll get the Fire and Ice Virgin Art metal cover. That is to say, this is actually a comic book with a real metal cover. At the $125 tier, you'll get the Fire and Ice #1 holofoil limited edition comic. At the $200 tier, you'll get the signed cover first issue of Fire and Ice, and it is graded by CGC. We have a $270 tier, which ships 6 Fire and Ice games to you. This is the retailer level. Then at the highest tier, $700, you can get a signed Fire and Ice Sankiewicz Giglet. This is a printing technique that is very high quality. All right, let's look at the contents and see if this is for you. We have the box, of course, and then we get a very small shot, which I'll try to blow up, but the quality won't blow up with it, of the Fire and Ice game kind of in action. This game actually comes with 4 of these scenery boards. We're looking at all 4 of them here, unfortunately, so we don't have like a lot of variation. I think we could have a lot more than just these 4, but this is what they have. They're all lined up, so I'm kind of wondering if they have to be all lined up during normal gameplay, or if that's the entirety of the scenario that is played, or if there are any variants or an overall campaign. We'll keep looking and see if that is the case. We see that it's ages 13 plus. It has a 60 to 120 minute playtime, so between 1 and 2 hours, and it is recommended for 2 or more players. We get a little bit of a foreword about Ralph and Frank and their work. If you've seen the movie, you already know this firsthand. 2 ways to play. Experience Fire and Ice as both a miniatures board game and a rules light RPG. We get to see 360-degree views. That could have been done better, but I'm not picky, of the subhuman priestess, and a little bit more information on her. She comes with a few more materials, some cards, namely, that detail her stats. She is part of the early bird special, so you do have time to back it and get her for free. Otherwise, you'll have to pay an additional $15 while you're going through with your pledge. The bonus #1 Fire and Ice comic book. Please stop by your local comic book shop to find the next issues. Cool to see a revival of that. What hero and villain miniatures will be unlocked through stretch goals? If we make our goals, the core game you receive will have 25 incredible miniatures. It comes with 12 by default, the subhuman priestess being a 13th. But it looks like we'll get a ton of other miniatures, practically doubling that amount, basically, if we can get this stretch goal unlocked, which at the rate that it's going, I think it's totally doable. All right, we've got Dark Wolf here. We've got Tigra. I did see a complaint on the Facebook page about her representation here. This is how she looked in the 1983 film, so this is just a recreation that is staying true to how she was originally designed and presented back then. We have Larn, sort of a barbaric type. We have Monga. He's one of the subhumans, is his chief. We have just the subhumans, and we have 8 of these subhumans. So we've got 4 of those named characters and 8 of these subhumans, and that's how we come to our 12 miniatures. All right, and then you get the history of Fire and Ice, as well as some low-quality reproduction of how the movie looked. It looked stunning, I promise you. A bit of fluff, a bit of appreciation for the story behind Fire and Ice. Not as much detail about the game as I would like to see front and center. More views of the miniatures that you will get. They are lovely, detailed miniatures. I mean, Larn looks great. Dark Wolf looks amazing. I know that these are just 3D concepts, but if the prints match the sculpts, they're going to be great prints. Tigra looks great. The subhumans all look very fittingly good for what they represent. And then just another mention of it being a board game and a role-playing game all in one. Some interior shots of the rule book. It does look really nice. You can check out the rulebook demo from the Kickstarter page. The core box has 6 character cards, the rulebook, the box, 54 event cards. That interests me. That's what I want to know more about. 12 activity cards, 2 10-sided die. One is ice themed, one's fire themed. I like that. Thank you for that. That opportunity was not wasted. An activity token? Activity? Activate? Activati? I'm not sure if that's a typo or I'm intended to read it that way. There's 100 of them though. There are 80 health tokens. There are 12 activation tokens. I don't know what these do, if they're related to the events. There is an advanced tracker. There are 12 advanced tracker tokens, and there are 4 regions boards, which we saw in the screenshot above. And of course, there's 12 32mm miniatures. They're great. They're great. You get a reminder of what comes with the game, and how it's fire and ice, and it's a magical world. Oh, here we go, stretch goals. We do get to see what the stretch goals are. The Firekeep game board and die will be released at 100K, so we are potentially going to be able to get more game boards. That's very nice, very good. That does give me hope that, being that this seems more modular now in this context, that these are different scenarios that you actually get to play out in the miniatures game, well, as well as the role-play game. Very nice. Looks like these 4 miniatures would be unlocked the same character as our next goal, past 100K. Then we get this guy, and then this guy. Another board. I really like that. 4 people, this lady, this guy, and then a book. Exciting. I hope that that's a supplement, like an expansion, and not just like a comic book, although I can understand if people would really, really like a comic book. That's about it. There's some comic book reviews, and they are fulfilling through Backer Kit and not requesting funds for shipping at this time. So we don't know what the shipping costs could be like. They could be wildly different depending on where you're at in the globe, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. Check out and go check it out and let me know what you think about this development. I thought that this content fit pretty good with the channel, so I wanted to include it, and I'd like to keep an eye on more Kickstarter campaigns. If you've got one that you'd like to share and you want me to cover it on the channel, give it some more exposure, with what little exposure I can give, please drop a line, let me know, and I will see what I can do to get it covered quickly. All right, that's it for now, so onward, brave heroes.